The common subjects were the neighborhood. Always people that lived in the neighborhood have always interested me. And of course also family events.
Mm-hmm.
And you always get, well, I always get hooked up into taking pictures of the family, which is really nice because that's also something that's really nice to document. But mostly the everyday people in the community. That event in 1986 was a March for Puerto Rican Justice, and since I graduated from high school, well, in high school also, I was involved in the Aspira program, so I've always been involved in community events and concerns, and I felt it was important for me to document that march because it was so important to the Puerto Rican community and the issues that were going on at that time with housing, unemployment, etc., which are still going on. But at that time, so many people from the Philadelphia area did go and met other people in Washington. So it was a massive move at that time. And I just thought it was really important to document, and the fact that Reverend Jesse Jackson was one of the main people there supporting the march also. I thought that was important to document. And we also had some of our leaders, excuse me, leaders in the community. And one of our most recent musicians that just passed away, Joaquin Rivera, provided music for that, provided entertainment for that march. Joaquin would show up with his guitar to many events, and I guess I basically do the same with my camera. If you see me at an event, you see me with my camera. And Joaquin provided entertainment no matter where, and he really did keep the La Plena alive, and he just brought people together, and that harmony, that musical harmony, wherever he went, people always expected him to be there with his guitar, and they would join in and sing or play the percussion instruments. La Familia Rojas is, they're definitely pioneers in the bomba music, as it is a comparison with Puerto Rico and Philadelphia, and they really keep that part of the music alive in Philadelphia. And I feel like I've kind of been like adopted by them.
Yeah.
But I mean, they make you feel that way. They make you feel part of their family. Just as the music that they play, and when they sing, they make you want to dance and sing. And they definitely keep the music alive. I went with them to Puerto Rico because they received an award in Loíza, and I was able to document not only the Familia Rojas, but the Familia Cepeda in Puerto Rico, and it was just an incredible event, and just being able to partake in that. I think in terms of style, in a way I can and try to see beauty in everything. And I guess with myself, like I always say, moments by luz.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when I feel that I am photographing a flower, to me that's a little something that's more maybe personal, or something that I can capture that image differently. In terms of portraits, there's the, to me, in my opinion, I just like to photograph people because everybody's so different. But I think that lighting also has a lot to do with that. And also my relationship, the relationships that I develop with the subject,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's a moment, whether it's somebody that you know, because there are, I think there may be like one or two instances where just photographing in the street, the person really did not want me to take the picture. And I respected that, you know, and I choose wisely not to. There was the one instance in Puerto Rico where I shot near Yunque, which is actually one of the best photographs that I feel that I have, is the still life of the tiendita, little bananas in Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
And the person, I asked the person that was there, he was the vendor, if I could photograph him, and he said no. So I asked him if I could just shoot the area where he was selling his products. And he said it was okay. So, you know, I think building a relationship with someone, whether it's just that moment that you're shooting them or just somebody that you've known for a while, I think that's important. Well, I think especially in the photographic world, people tend to look at the glamour, they tend to look at the beauty, you know, the marketing aspect of selling products, etc. And even on a day-to-day basis, many of us will walk by a homeless person and continue to walk by, and they're very forgettable. And even for myself, I try to photograph these moments because these are moments that people tend to forget. And then I also like to focus on the aspect of what the community does, the everyday person in the community, the children that play softball and never see their picture in the paper because they don't belong to a well-known league, or, you know, they don't, or if I'll take pictures of people that graduate and put that and send it to the newspaper, hoping that they will put it in there so people can know that our community, you know, there are a lot of positive things going on in the community. I'm a full-time employee at the school district, so for the past 5 years, they've been celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month, and we've been able to bring in various artists to exhibit at the school district for this event. And I've also been able to exhibit at different restaurants in the Philadelphia area, which I think is kind of like maybe in the past whatever years more trendy, and it's a lot of Latino artists, well, maybe not a lot, but more Latino artists are becoming involved in that aspect of exhibiting. I like to get up early. I get up sometimes at 5 o'clock in the morning and go to the park to shoot the sunrise, or end up at the park to shoot the sunset. But even with some of the buildings in Philadelphia that are abandoned, if you have the perfect lighting, they change completely. And that one that I did shoot in Lehigh Avenue, which is, I believe, part of the exhibit, Lehigh Avenue on a rainy day, it does look like it was shot somewhere in London as you look at the photograph. But I think once again, going back to the lighting and just capturing that moment changes everything. So a lot of people, I think they may be familiar with what I do because I also send photographs and articles to the local newspapers. But to see it in a way like that, where there are so many and such a variety all in one place, I'd be interested to find out what the comments would be. You know.
Thank you so much, Lesenia, for doing this interview and for taking out your lunch period.
There you
go. Time to do it. So thanks again. And this is Daniel de Jesus with Taller Puertorriqueño, and this was an interview with Lesenia Salas for the exhibit Faces and Facades, opening October 8th. Thanks.
Thank you.